turn this down. So yeah, you know, I just really thought the BDSM community was a lot better than this shit. You know, they're all like, well, you can't prove it, and it's like, dude, you and I both know, you know, the truth. You know that I'm right, and I know that you're there to like gaslight me, and I you know, I guess, you know, the police seem to be on it. It's gang stalking 101. It's narcissism 101. You know, the only thing I could really got that I could prove is, you know, hey, you lied about me out of there. All right, that was abuse, and a very petty, minor case of abuse, but I'm still upset about it because it's what got me to start my protest. But like, compared to the shit that's happening now, you know, their mistake of poisoning me with poison ivy when the only places I go to is Walmart, CVS, maybe the Dollar Tree, and the protests that I'm proud of. I'm proud of sticking up for myself, and I'm proud of toughing it out. You know, like, I do want to run for president, and inadvertently it's all connected because I'm been getting the same treatment ever since I started wanting to run for president. You know, it's just like the local cops don't do anything for me when clear crimes happen upon me. You know, and it's like, what the fuck's going on here? Followed around by people. I was followed around by people in Illinois, and inadvertently I recorded some of them. Not as much as I do nowadays, but I recorded some of them. And I don't think that shit ever went away. And me getting sent to jail, and me getting attacked by Johnny Long, which was probably one of them. He was probably one of the gang stalkers. He's from Job Corps, and his, you know, woman Gwen or whatever, that he would yell at every fucking night. But it's cool. It's cool for you guys to do domestic abuse. You know, but, and I'm not saying, you know, like, but, you know, I should, but it's like, you're just making up shit about me, you know, and getting people to believe it, or maybe it doesn't matter if it's belief or not. Like, it just doesn't matter if it's true or not. They're loyal to you, so no matter what, you know, it's like, you know, just say what the fuck ever. You know, I really didn't think the BDSM community would be like that. You know, I really thought it was something more, and I'm a little hurt over it. I'm a lot hurt, you know, and you guys, you know, fucking, like you with your fucking cult-like followers, you can't recover from fucking lying someone out of a club. Go fuck yourself, you know. And poison ivy is pretty obvious. It's like, where the fuck did I get that? Where's the outbreak at fucking Walmart or CVS, bitch? You know, aside from the person that was, you know, administered it, you know, two possible people. You know, the poison ivy is really obvious, as opposed to the other fucking shit that, you know, spraying shit through my fucking window, me not even realizing it, thinking that it's the fucking neighbors cooking shit or whatever the fuck, you know. But then I had that odd powder, which was pesticide accumulation. And then I caught that dude coming back, you know, and then once I caught him, I never seen him around fucking town again, you know, or at least, you know, not in the same vehicle. I guess change vehicles and not haul around 2 55-gallon barrels, you know. And then the cops being in on it, and they're like, well, Chris, you're crazy. And then I'm talking to my fucking, like, a therapist, and it's like they get a hold of the therapist too, you know, and they're like, Ron, really, you know, you need to be you know, lobotomized, Chris, you know, with medications. You know, it's like, what are you talking about? Like, I got a false diagnosis, like, you know, which I'm really trying to undo. And they're like, no, Chris, you know, the intel community, like, smeared you with this bullshit, like, you know, back in 2012, and they'd like for that shit to stick. So, you know, and it's just like, and it's just complete coincidence that I came across Voodoo Leatherworks, that just happens to be owned by one of the assholes in the intel community, because he bragged about it on January 31st, 2022, at the hearing for the first false restraining order. He bragged about that shit, you know. And it's like, okay, so I'm in Spy Town with NORAD and the fucking Air Force Academy base, and a bunch of assholes, you know, are in town. And they're like, yeah, no, Chris, you know, no, people ganging up on somebody to, like, bully them, that doesn't happen. That's just delusional. You're just delusional. It's seen as, it's like, oh, but here's a Vice article that doesn't, blah, 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 let's diagnose you, and then let's manipulate your fucking therapist that you speak with, you know. And yeah, so the only people with this reach, you know, they had, back in Illinois, they had people undercover in jail with me. Now the chances are when I got thrown in jail after being attacked by one of their fucking people, probably, you know, because they're people like, dude, they break all sorts of laws around town and shit, you know, because they're like endorsed by the police and everything, so they get some leeway and everything. Well, I got a microscope up my ass, you know. I mean, I throw my cigarette butts nowadays because I'm like, fuck this fucking town, this fucking shit, dude, you know. And then you make it to where I can't really meet anybody, and I already have a hard enough time meeting somebody. And I think it's just something that the intel community was doing in general to me. And then I come across one of them at fucking Voodoo Leatherworks. You know, they have me at the first event, October 2nd, 2021, the BDSM 101 class. And where I was like out of line a little bit. I said the noise stupid, and the dude used that to put me down. And after much thought about it, I was like, dude, hell no. Like, that dude was a total fucking asshole about that. Like, and he used it to grandstand. And then I went, after attending 2 other classes on October 12th, 2021, the polyamorous class, where the teacher was there, that devil by the deed prick on FetLife, was there on the October 2nd class. So if I was really that out of line, I would have, you know, something. And there was probably other people there too, you know. And I did interrupt someone at that class, and I didn't use it to put them down. I kind of just, you know, like kind of was trying to help them because they were stuttering a lot. And I know my first time there, I was kind of stuttering too. So I just kind of like, here you go. Nobody seemed to take offense to that. You know, I did donate $5 where I called the dude, I forgot his name, you know, I guess it's Jimmy. I call him Horseboy. I nickname him Horseboy. Well, as president, you gotta, you know, think of the nicknames I learned to be presidential. Anyway. You know, I never fucking found a, you know, I like gave my name right away. I'm like, yeah, I'm Chris Bora. You know, and they're like acting like their name, you know, is some fucking, like, you know, I'm breaking into some fucking safe and everything. It's like, dude, you should be able to identify yourself. Or if you guys are this sneaky and covert about shit, why don't you guys come up with fake names to begin with? To just begin with. Like, my name is Sarah Pauls. You know, whatever. When your real name is Jennifer or something, you know, like, why don't you guys do that? And stop being so anal about shit. People are allowed to know who they're fucking speaking with. Knowing somebody's name isn't fucking doxing somebody. And look, with the fucking 4 original abusers, you know, first getting lied about out of the club and whatnot. Oh, my 3rd visit, because I get sidetracked and everything, because I have ADHD, untreated. And the 4th visit was the first Friday of the month of Muffs, November 5th, 2021. And that was the 3rd visit, and then the day before the new member orientation, where I was just going to like try to meet another brain at these sex parties because I'd like to meet a freak, a BDSM freak, and you know, that's, you know, kind of what I fantasize about, because I'm a horrible person or something. That's when I came at them with like, look, you know, this is. I'm going to want to label this person an asshole and not talk or speak with them. Here's why I'm doing this. And you could also, you know, have a discussion with me about it, change my mind even. And they opted to just make up shit to ban me from the club. And that in itself was what kick-started the protests. You know, and then suddenly I'm getting hit with false restraining orders, and then people are getting sent to my house, and items are getting mailed to my house, and then the fucking vehicles are, you know, coming in and out of my parking lot at a much higher rate than usual. Every day is strange. You know, and then the online harassment, the endless online harassment, and then noticing these people, you know, visiting my neighbors and turning them against me, and this is what narcissists do, you know, and then learning later that they are narcissists, and it's like, whoa, narcissism, what is this? I'm 40 years old, and I'm just learning about this shit now. Hey, AMR, you got off your way to, you know, gaslight somebody there? So, I mean, it's gang stalking 101, you know, I mean, the intel community is out of control and in on it. You know, I'd be somebody that pardons Julian Assange, you know, and stops this fucking witch hunt, you know, and cleans up this shit pile that you guys fucking created. Alright, you know, sorry you guys hate so much. You know, you gotta knock it off. And nobody keeps you in check, then, you know, we're doomed for self-destruction. And, but you can recover from, we lied someone out of the club. You can recover from, we lied someone out of the club. You could even recover from, we lied on court paperwork to try to fuck this kid. You can recover from those. You know, and then the unprovable shit, you know, the you know, gang stalking, essentially, with the poison, the covert poisoning. That's great, guys. You know. And then I recorded some drywall that was missing from my ceiling. It just flaked away. My place just moved into in March, June 22nd, 2022. I recorded it. It's not glossy. It's not glossy. It's not glossy. I leave and I come back and I had a package delivered that day in front of my doorstep. The package was missing, and then I come home and the shit is glossy. That was a mistake. All right, that was a mistake. Your crimes are almost perfect, but right there, all right. And I know the gaslighters, they're going to, like, you know, once I release the footage and everything, because it's hard to tell, you know, they're going to be like, look, it's nothing, it's in your head, you're just, you know, but, you know, honest people, you know, would be honest about that. And the dishonest actors will be dishonest about it. And there's nothing I can do about that, you know, like, you know. So, I just, well, I saw some of the smears, but I didn't go to the site. I just used Google Cache. I don't trust going to that site. So, you know, they're calling me all sorts of, you know, just textbook, you know, smears. You know, and since they could enter my apartment, they could pretty much frame me for anything. You know, and I wonder why they don't, you know, or maybe that's the next escalation, because it seems like they fucking, like, do this crazy shit, and then there's, like, a cool down period, you know, and then they do some crazier shit, and then there's, like, a cool down period, and then they do some crazier shit, and then there's a cool down period, you know. So then that seems to be the pattern the past 8 or 9 months. Pretty much 9 months, you know. But where did I get poison ivy? You know, some bitch went out of her fucking way, bounced off me like fucking Pong. That's not normal when you're fucking trying to, in the grocery store, you know, you're like walking past somebody to someplace, or through somebody to get to someplace. You're not bouncing off of them. Bouncing off of them looks like you came from my blind spot, attacked one of my wounds that was visible on the April 1st protest, 2022. The first Mother Muffs protest, where I was dancing. A whole lot, because I smoked a little bit of meth. Well, you know, I guess I was with Bree, and Bree always fucking, like, encouraged me to, like, smoke a lot. And I think she was knowingly or unknowingly a recruit, you know, one of those people to try to encourage me to smoke meth, which I haven't done any for like a month, like over a month at this point. And I walked away from it very easily. Maybe it is, you know, a disease. There was some bitch that blocked me that I think is part of this group. Because I was asking about, like, you know, just literature on bullies, but I also, a few days prior, I guess, I had a disagreement about addiction being a disease. I know that's what's been getting taught for, like, more than a decade. I don't know if that, I really agree with that, you know, and I know there's underlying characteristics in genetics that makes people a certain personality and shit like that, and I have a hard time calling it a disease, because what I think a disease is like diabetes or cancer, you know, or like cirrhosis of the liver, and some of these things you do get fucking by choice. But I mean, it's like a gray area, you know, nothing's really black and white. Like, I just have a hard time with the disease thing. You know, the first choice, you know, the hey, let's try it. But then you're hooked on it. Like, I'm hooked on cigarettes. The cigarettes is like the hardest thing for me to fucking quit. And I would like to. I just don't know how. Chantix really helped me out. But they're like, Chantix causes cancer. And it's like, dude, if I fucking keep on smoking, it's going to fucking, you know, cause cancer. You know, so I just, what Chantix did was, it kind of made me feel like I had the flu or a cold or something, and you just don't feel like smoking. You feel like sick. But it was more than that. And what I later learned was that it removes the nicotine receptors off your brain receptors or something. Moves, it separates it somehow, and that's cool. That was cool. I liked it. I did quit smoking when I last got Chantix just over a year ago. Well, like right before my cat died, and I quit smoking, and then my cat died, and then I wonder if that was induced, because my vet acted very weird about, he was very questioning and probing about things that my cat has been around. So maybe they fucked with my cat and killed him. Maybe they were trying to fuck with me and they ended up killing my cat or some shit. I don't know. I'd be really pissed off about that shit. Like, whoever that person was or is, like, they better get a new name and get the fuck out if I, ever have a fair shot at running for president, because I would hunt that person down. Legally and everything. But, like, I would hunt that person down, dude. Like, that, you fucking kill my cat? What the fuck is wrong with you? On top of all the other fucked up stuff that, they're just like, you're just crazy, Chris. No, the intelligence community in the United States has never once abused their power. Never once. Never people part of it. Nope, never. Police never abuse their power. Nope, and there's no such thing as bullying. Or bullies, when they're caught, they do stuff more covertly and still bully. None of that has been exhibited except in every fucking, grade there ever was in education. So it's all a little fucked up. I know I ranted a little bit, but I really wanted, the BDSM community to be better, than it is. I'm just like, they ignore me the entire time, they laugh about it and get off on it, and then do everything else but ever have an adult conversation with me. And these gang stalkers, they'll send their kids my way and shit. I was talking about, I don't know if I had to reset the camera, but there was this one chick, and I think she was maybe not ordered to see me, but encouraged, hey, why don't you go down to the food pantry, blah 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 blah. Or maybe they just let everybody know this, and they're like, whenever you see this Chris kid, let's see what he does. I don't know. I neglected to remember that she was asexual. I remember that she said she was non-binary, and I kind of identify as non-binary right now. Not kinda, I do. It would be nice to help people, to have people help me figure shit out. It was one thing I was looking forward to, figuring things out. Because I have lots of thoughts and trying, but I don't like to get manipulated, And then she was like, "Oh, Chris, some people think they want sex, but it's not really, the case." And I'm like, man, then she's talking about making costumes, and I'm like, well, some people, think that making costumes and everything, is what they really want. I just threw it back at her, and it's like, look, I could be friends with people and pick their brain. I feel a little uneasy about having one of their fucking children, she was 28, but one of their kids, fucking all up in my fucking business and shit, what the who the fuck are you people, and you're probably not coming with love, or honesty, you're in there, being little fucking spy assholes, holy shit, and so anyway, I got a little, I was setting some boundaries. I might have been a little bit snippy, but I'm going through some shit, so I'm like, look, I'm going through some things and blah, 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 and I need you to understand these things, and they're, little lengthy text messages, and I sent a few of them, and I was just a little upset because I knew she knew something about it. I felt it, and my vibe doesn't lie, and then she, fessed up. She's like, yeah, my father's in the military, and I'm like, there we go, So anyway, I've just been going through hell, and it's not right. And if the intel community could do this to someone aspiring to run for president, then what the fuck? Then there's nothing, there's nothing that anyone could do. You know, and it's really insulting. It's really insulting. Then you should tell your kids, you know, unless you got the hookup and you came out of the right fucking uterus or the proper fucking sperm, then you can't be president. Because, you know, the intel community is going to shove a microscope so far up your ass and abuse you to no end. You know, they'll make the cops not fucking do anything to help you ever. They'll fucking get into courts and make sure to fucking, you know, force you to take a deal and manipulate you in every fucking way, and they'll gaslight you, you know, and they'll fucking make a fake record and all this fucking bullshit. You know, then what the fuck? You know, and you're the good people. You're the fucking Jesus team. Is that what Jesus would want? Jesus Christ. What the fuck? What's wrong with you people? But yeah, you know, I had a lot of thoughts about BDSM, you know, and now I just think it's totally abusive. I don't want to think like that. I don't want to be one of those people. Thank you, though, for making me one of those people. You know, like 2 decades, you know, of fucking fantasizing and curiosity, and it took me a while. I wasn't healthy for a long time because it's like, what is it like to not be bullied? What is it like to not be bullied constantly? I don't know, and I'm always fucking getting bullied by assholes, and I don't know why. My whole life, it's just like I'm a narcissistic magnet, and I just can't stop these protests. Like, it's the only thing I got. I thought they were just ignoring me at first, and then they're like fucking like infiltrating me and figuring out all this shit before they start going all crazy, just like gang stalking 101. Or organized harassments, organized community harassments. You know, great. You know, I mean, I guess I'm used to it, is the sad thing. I'm used to it, so it probably doesn't fucking, like, they got me going for a little bit. Look, you know, and I was doing my freaky things around the apartment that I normally don't do. I like cross-dress and shit, you know, and they kind of scared me into doing some more. I don't go outside, though. I don't go outside much. At all, ever. See, and I don't know anybody that would encourage me, and I wouldn't trust anybody from this fucking community that's abusive. You know, yeah, you can't prove the other stuff. Okay, haha, you got me. You know, but in the beginning, alright, you know, fucking lying me out of the club, and lying on court paperwork, and they're doing it a second time with the fucking lying on court paperwork. We'll see, you know, maybe they just kind of keep on trying, you know, and then eventually, you know, they'll get it. You know, I don't know, but they gotta be able to prove, you know, that I'm violent, quote unquote. And they mentioned some bullshit about stalking, which is probably referring to 2 protests on May 30th, where they pretended like they weren't having an event, and I was like, okay, I'll just stick around anyway, guys. You know, like, and then what else? Oh yeah, the last protest on June 2nd, where they lied, and I'm pretty sure, I haven't reviewed the footage, but I'm just going off memory here, because I like to see how accurate I am, and then, you know, go check things out. And I like to figure things out before I start reading about it. It's like I make all these observations about gang stalking, and then I start reading about it, and it's like, oh yeah, they did that, and that. You know, so I like to figure things out, or, you know, like, identify patterns, and then compare it to, you know, shit that, you know, to other shit. You know, just like I was trying to figure out, you know, consensual non-consent and everything. When I was like thinking about how it would be done without being part of any BDSM community, I was like, okay, well, you know, you tell your partner or partners, you know, that you pick some days, let's say, you know, Monday through Wednesday or whatever, you know, Monday through Wednesday, you know, 7 a.m. to midnight or 4 in the morning or whatever the following day, is fair game. But, you know, then I got work on Thursday or later on in Thursday or some shit. You know, I was always like a second or third shifter. I really hated the morning shift. So yeah, you know, that's kind of like was my thoughts on it. I don't know how accurate such things are. And when Paul told me, or Dick told me, go to fucking the rack room in Denver, dude. Like, you might as well be saying fucking go to fucking like Tennessee for fucking BDSM community. Like, I can't make it to Denver, and I can. There's a bus, sure, yes, but I can't spend the night, unless I'm spending the night at the shelter or some shit, or I'm sleeping, someplace I shouldn't be, and I'll get harassed, or like maybe the bus terminal to head back out here and wait for the first one that will come at whenever the fuck, 7, 8, 9 in the morning. I don't know. So I was just standing up for myself. I felt bullied that day, and you put me down. You used me saying noise stupid to put me down. And I noticed they prime people for this cult shit, right in that fucking. Now, since I know more now, I didn't realize it back then. But it's like I'm later learning and realizing things. They're like, this is our little secret. This is our little secret. They're getting people, like, hey, this is our secret. This is our secret. I'm part of this group, and we're going to keep secrets. And I'm just not down with that shit. I'm more open. I was really planning on keeping my name, a normal thing. Like, yeah, hey, I'm Chris Bora. And everybody's like, no, you don't use the name. Da, 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 da. And okay, so the original 4 abusers, all right, because I was talking about that earlier and I got so sidetracked. Jimmy, lied about me, or it was a coordinated lie between Paul, aka Dick, and Jimmy. And then one of the harassers was Michael Murphy, just endlessly harassing me, and he still does. He's like, never going to stop, and that's fine, whatever. He has the freedom, I guess, to do it, and just endlessly harass me online and make fake accounts, and there's nothing I could do, but just take the abuse. And then they use that to set me up and irritate me, so they'll like poke me in the eye a whole bunch, and then they'll send like an innocent my way to where I'm like really agitated. Then I like bark at them, and then they'll be like, look, and then Tiffany, all right, banning me from fucking Colorado Springs trans personals. Like, okay, I fucking understand, like, okay, Voodoo Leatherworks and other shit like that, that's related to Voodoo Leatherworks, but to just like up and ban me, I can't meet trans people, I can't figure out who I am or what I am, I'm not allowed. I've had thoughts and feelings for a long time, and I just, don't share them with people. And I think I'm making a sacrifice, but maybe it's not much of a sacrifice. I don't know. Maybe I'm cool both ways. I don't know. I really don't know these things, and I just wanted to know, and I was curious, and I just stood up for myself. That's all. And that's all. And I'm going to continue to stand up for myself. I guess, like frame me, murder me, whatever. I want to run for president, so I can't bitch down. I can't bitch down. All right, I'm not going to bitch down. But instead of maybe bringing your most evil people in on this, maybe, we could moderate a little bit. And, I don't need to go to your shitty fucking sex club to fucking, why don't you send some of your more empathic people that don't have fucking husbands or boyfriends that are, age appropriate too, Although I'm desperate, so if there's some college girls that fucking, want to fucking fuck or whatever, I think those were like, mid-20s or whatever, those chicks that fucked with me, when they were at the last protest, they walked past me and they're like, Voodoo Leatherworks, what is that? And then they go into the Voodoo Leatherworks events, like I give them my card, they walk past me to some douchebag that was yelling at me, about like, I was there. And it's like, yeah, and I was at 2 other events after that, so what the fuck? If I was so out of line, fuck you. Just admit it, you lied me out of the club. You ain't gonna fucking lose anybody, with this kind of bullshit, fucking cult bullshit that's going around my fucking life, the gang stalking, and like all of my neighbors that are in my building, and then the surrounding neighborhood and everything. That's really abusive, and anyway, Maybe you could send some of your nicer people to do a side quest. A side quest has opened, Chris, and you could teach him and punish him, and is BDSM just abuse? Because that's what I think it is, but I don't want it to be. I didn't want it to be, really. And it was standing up for myself. I should be punished so much. It's like, man, shut the fuck up, sit down. And I know they're probably not going to stop, and then I can't stop. Mr. President bitch down because of some fucking narcissist at a sex club. How does that sound and look? Fuck you. So, if I could be taught and have some fun experiences instead of this constant hell, because before I poked the hornet's nest of the intel community over at Voodoo Leatherworks, I've been getting fucked with this whole 9 years that I've lived out here. Since the end of 2013, I've been getting fucked with. And the police have never helped me, fitting the same pattern. All these people, and then all these people in my life where they, I need to question that now. Because I made the connection from Illinois and then out here. And then so, I need to question everybody that I met in the past decade. And because this stuff's been going on longer than a decade. And it's like, is this like that's all this Colorado Springs community's got for me is bullshit? Like, fucking co-workers talking about shooting people. I mentioned that shit to my boss and I get fucking punished. I get sent to jail after being attacked. It just all sorts of unjust bullshit orchestrated, in the background where it could be all secret and out of the courts, and I can't ever fucking learn. Someone that wants to run for president getting totally abused. It's really insulting. And is that all the world has to offer me? And it's not like I'm not going to end it. I'm going to take it. I'm used to it. Do things by myself. I chill by myself. I play with myself. I rub myself, when I'm sore, kind of give myself a massage. I was just, thinking I could be a better person with another, and I'm not a perfect person. And yes, because the narcissists are like, yeah, see, Chris, you're like, you called someone an asshole back in Chicago at your fucking goth club, and you got banned. You got banned because you called someone an asshole. And it's like, dude, you're not even talking about the shit that I'm fucking I'm talking about, hey, what happened at your club out here just recently, sorta ish. It's been a while, 9 months. But they're like, look at all your sins, Chris. Look at all this, and then we're going to make up shit and rile people up against you. And it's like, dude, I'm just like, you guys lied me out of the club and everything. I think you guys would be all right just admitting it. It's not like, you fucking, I was saying no cutting or something, and then you cut me, and then I'm like, it's that abuse. It's totally recoverable abuse, but you don't even want to admit, the most minor, you don't want to admit, and it perplexed me for a really long time. It really did. It perplexed me, and I'm like, why just admit it and move on, just, God, are that many people going to be upset? And then I started learning about narcissists, and that was the thing about Andrea. She said she was a narcissist, and I didn't know anything about that. I remember that shit from her profile, and it was a missed opportunity to learn about it, because I could have learned about it a decade prior, and then I would have known. But I probably would have, everything would have been the same. Everything would have been the same, Because I just standing up for myself, what the fuck? What the fuck? And I get ignored by, everybody there, except, 1 out of 100 people, will, interact with me. You can't fucking, you thin-skinned motherfuckers. That's the thing, I like for people to have thicker skin. I use words, I call the president's fucking retarded, but I'll call a handicapped person, handicapped, or, whatever, term is proper for the time. I'll call myself retarded. I am fucking retarded sometimes. I do stupid ass shit. We all do. We all do stupid ass shit, and we're imperfect creatures, and you know, I really wanted to do that JB rub, that JB rub to a mistress or something, kind of, you know, make it nice with the jelly beans, kind of give a nice foot massage, and then I could eat the jelly beans and everything. I mean, I've been considering using some more BDSM to kind of combat, you know, do the protesting and to combat the gang stalkers too. I don't know. Maybe try to do some self BDSM, I guess, right? And I just thought it was going to be more, you know, and that standing up for yourself wasn't going to be so severely punished. But then I learned about narcissism, and I was like, oh, okay, you know, they can't even admit to the simplest things. Oh, okay, that's what's wrong with them. And that really sounds like everybody that I fucking met in my entire life. Just about. You know, no matter what, I'm always wrong, you know, and then people make up shit about me to make me more wrong or whatever, you know, it's just fucking my whole life. My whole life, you know. What's it like not to be bullied? I just, you know, would like to know. You could come back to bullying me later. And, like, what's it like to thrive under love? I pushed a woman that I really liked away from me because I was fucked up from all this abuse before I even knew I was broken. You know, and I didn't handle that shit properly. And I didn't know how to... I kind of chased her away by being a dick to her constantly. Just talking shit, really. Kind of like the narcissists do, but they're more intense about it. Like, you know, I mean, well, the shit talking is like fucking like tier 1, and they're at like tier 12 or whatever. And anyway, so I just, you know, if you want to save me, then show me a fucking good time. This BDSM community. Otherwise, I'm going to still be upset. I'm probably going to win the next fucking false restraining order drop, or I'm going to make it super obvious that you have a judge working for you, too. Alright? Show me a fun time. You got some people out there available. Don't fucking give me this bullshit. Fucking, you know, like fucking Heather was all groping me, like just inches away from my cock. Don't tell me you're not fucking arousing me and seducing me, alright? And then you do that shit, and then you get back to my place, and you're like, oh, my husband, or she said it on the bus right before we got back to my place, you know? Like, you didn't say that shit in the beginning, but it was probably a lie, but still, that was rude. And it was just like a mind game and everything. And it's like, dude, you're not even, like, you can't even be nice. Like, what the fuck? Why was I even going to give myself to you to fucking do things? Why would I, you know, play the fucking fear shit and have you hold a knife to my neck or asphyxiate me or do other things I'm curious about that are pretty hardcore, but I'm not into cutting or burning or scat, alright? And I'm pretty much open to anything else. Plus, I'm not into ball kicking or needles. You know, I'm not into ball kicking or needles. So I got, like, you know, very few hard limits. Yeah, no cock and ball torture. Maybe some lights, alright? I don't know. There's certain things I'm not into. But I had a really long list of curiosities and things that I know I'm into. And yeah. I really just thought it would be more. And then it turns out the one person that was interested in me was probably one of theirs scoping me out and pretending to be nice to me. And the reason why I talk about the protest so much is because I'm proud of it. And it's the only thing I got going on in my life. Like, the intel community, before I poked the hornet's nest of the intel community out here, the intel community, like, kept me, you know, from having good money, and it's a thing with gang stalking. You keep me down and out and poor and blah, 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 blah. And I gave up trying to make money. All right? And now after a decade's lost, they had that Steven fucking... I'm sure he's a nice person, but, when he said you can make me money, that was a douchebag fucking asshole thing to say to me. I consider it. All right? I consider that make you money. I'm telling you that I don't fucking care about money, and you're like, make me money instead. Go fuck yourself. That shit. And then you're part of the same community that's kept me from fucking having money. So then you keep me from having money, and then you're like, yeah, why don't you make me money? Like, God, stop your abuse. All right, stop abusing me. I could forgive a lot of this shit. We could joke about fucking giving Chris a heart attack back in 2017 or whatever, if that was you guys, but and I can't forgive my cat. If you guys did anything to my cat, I can't forgive it. I won't. So I don't know. I don't know the extent, I don't know how far the rabbit hole goes, but I know it's there. I got evidence. It ain't in my head. I caught you up a few times, and the really obvious one is poison ivy. Where did I get that? So just show me a good time. Show me a good time. Give me some of the curious, available women out there. What's wrong with that? And then you can fish for more information. And give me some love for once. I've had thousands of days of constant abuse. Enough. Even if you're going to hold me down from being president, which I still disagree with. Is BDSM the same way? I can't be a freak in the Oval Office? Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I was really thinking about having sex parties and no-name blindfold Thursdays, because names really don't matter. Unless you're like going into a contract or something. Like even a marriage contract or something. But yeah, and then you instead of fucking doing... Instead of thinking of like authors that don't want to be identified, use other names. And you're not even going to think of that shit. You're not even going to think to just be like, look, if you don't want to be identified, come up with an alias. And not just like, I'm Shadow. Which is like a normal legit name, because you guys like playing spy. Say you're James Tyler or whatever the fuck. When your real name is Eric. Why don't you do that? And then and then it's like, yeah, well, James Tyler was the fucking douchebag that did this to me. And then we could talk about stuff and not have people get gang stalked. But you'd rather have the fucking hate. You'd rather have the hatred. Because Jesus, right? Tell me about Jesus. I'm the atheist. I don't know shit. It's what Jesus would want, more hate. And hate your neighbors and get neighbors to turn against each other and shit. That's what you guys want. That's what you do. That's so fucked up. So is that what the BDSM community does too? So just everywhere, every fucking BDSM, the whole fucking intel community is in on the BDSM fucking thing. And obviously, all across America, every 50 state, there's crimes happening. Why don't you keep that shit away from me so I don't fucking figure things out? Because I have my suspicions, but that's all they are. They're not even great suspicions either. And now, since I know you've been fucking with me for the past decade, it's, even less likely. But still, it's a possibility. But still, so keep that shit away from me. Have some fun with me instead. We can feed off each other. Instead of always just this one-sided shit that probably gets boring, driving in circles all the fucking time. And look, you gang stalk me all you want. I don't really care about being followed around. I really don't care about being followed around. But then, you get like neighbors inside my building and shit to like do fucked up things to me. Dude, I had that dude admit that they're the fucking bitch that stayed with him. See, so what they'll do, what the gang stalkers will do, is they'll install somebody. So my neighbor next to me, Victoria, we used to talk and we used to be really cool with each other. And then just one day, like, wouldn't talk to me. And so when she got like a little notice on the door, and she wouldn't talk to me or anything, and just her attitude like totally shifted. And then the new person in there, I know was, I suspect was poisoning me, along with 2 other people at the same time. And that's when I had plugged the holes that I had noticed in my walls. And in a place that I just moved in, tiny holes, like needle-sized holes. Needle-sized holes, these really, really tiny holes that would have been covered. And then I noticed that whatever chemical, was making my feet go numb and make me shit blood and irritate the shit out of my sinuses and prevent me from sleeping was eating up latex. So that makes me wonder, so there's all these holes before, and when you take it, like, I'm going to map out the holes, eventually, before I try repairing the wall, and doing what I can to prevent, neighbors from being evil little shits, covertly. And since the landlord, like, everybody's in on it, there's nothing I could do except, like, I think, this wall is kind of like, they fucking did plaster, right? They did a shitty plaster job, and then they like painted over holes, but they made sure to cover the holes with the paint. So they like got their little paintbrush and they like stuck it in the hole and everything, and they like filled it up, just like how a penis explodes in an asshole or vagina, or well, anyway, but the gas that they fucking use, or whatever chemicals it is, it eats away at latex. So eventually, over time, those holes will like open up. Is what I think a tactic. It's like a long-term tactic. So I'm figuring things out. I'm trying to, play detective. I've bitched at CSPD, and they totally deserve like my fingers. They actively not do anything for me. They deserved my fingers a long time ago. And I was nice. But then you kept not doing anything for me. They kept not doing anything for me, kept being abusive. That's abusive. When someone commits a crime on me, and then you refuse to do your job, that's abuse. And then you do it for the intel community bullshit. Because I want to run for president. Oh no, I might end the wars. I might make investors and rich people click on the mouse buttons a few times, to change investments. Because war should have never been an investment in the first fucking place. So all your money that your ill-gotten gains, that should have never happened. And you should be grateful for it and take your winnings and click on some other shit to invest. Oh. And you'll still make money, maybe not at a greater rate, but you'll still make money more than you can fucking spend it in most cases. I'm sure there's some douchebags out there that are like, no, I need to have like $500,000 a day or whatever the fuck, and it's unsustainable, and they're like, no, I need this, it's like, dude, fucking, that and the prison industrial complex, go fucking click on other shit. Alright, you made your ill-gotten gains, you're set for life. Your family is set for fucking their lives and their kids' lives and everything. Go fuck yourselves. Go fucking click on other shit. Click on other shit. The American people are sick of it. And I don't think it's up to you to decide upon, the behalf of the American people. You think I'm dangerous. You're the fucking people, like, getting other people to turn on each other. What the fuck's wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? Holy shit. And it's covert. I don't know how I'm going to fucking battle it, but if I can't battle this shit, if this shit can't be battled, then what the fuck? What the fuck? What could you do? You just, fucking get assimilated into the system, be an evil little shit too? I don't have that ability. And I can make deals too. I can make deals with, like, hey, I want to pardon Assange and, Snowden. And the people who should be punished, I will let that skirt. buy in order to have the chance to do this stuff. Like, fine, if you're going to prevent me from ever being, because you're worried about fucking some accountability in the future, well, fucking leave the country and fucking not be seen for a few years. Don't you have like 8 vacation spots? You can't chill at one for like 6 or 8 months and then move on to another, or stay at the same one. Just like, out of sight, out of mind. There's other fish I want to fry, and I don't have enough time to do everyone. I don't have enough time. It would be nice to do everyone, but I don't have enough time. So I need to be selective about it. And I want to pardon people, and that's going to be very time consuming. I think it will take weeks. Maybe it will take months. I don't know. Taking shits all over the world. United States of America, hello, the world is not our toilet. And could we stop this? Stop it. Like, you all talk about me respecting boundaries and everything, and I don't know how, because I talk about my fucking protest with the sex club, and most people that I spoke to, about this, except lately, or the last one, because I don't really talk about it that much nowadays. Yeah, I just usually say I'm getting gang stalked nowadays. But when I opened up a bank account at Ent, there's a security guard there, and they have other employees there, that are probably, part of the BDSM community, definitely. But there was an employee there and she was a total narcissist, because she's like, well, what did you do, Chris, to deserve to be attacked by your family? It's like, well, I left a few voicemails on my mom's voicemail, telling all the times that her narcissistic ass fucking, abused me or was neglectful, and that got me attacked, and she's like trying to use that to like blame me. It's like, what the fuck are you fucking talking about? Oh my God, just the way that you're thinking about things, yeah, and you could ask the question like, why were you attacked? But the way that she mentioned it, and I'll dig up the recording later because I was recording this, but the way that she mentioned it, her name was Sandra. No, I don't know her last name. But she was like I deserved it. Like I deserved it. She was starting off with that premise, that I had deserved it. And it's like, what are you talking about? No, nobody deserves to get attacked. And even that dude, or chick that fucking poisoned me and gave me a heart attack, maybe, like 5 years ago. I'd be urged to punch that person in the face if they mentioned that shit to me. I'd be really upset. But I need to be able to keep my composure and to control myself and to know that I've been manipulated. I have been manipulated to be angry and to kind of lose myself over this past decade is upsetting. You guys did that shit to me, and that's abuse. And like I said, I can forgive a lot of it. I can't forgive my cat. You're not fucking my cat. Oh my God. If you killed my cat, you better fucking run and hide. Alright, and then just like I would legally hunt you down. I would like the DOJ, like, hey, you fucking get on this. Like, anybody fucking fuck with my cat, You deserve not to be fucked with. You'd fuck with people's pets? What's wrong with you? If you did do that. I have a feeling you might have. And then someone lied, they tried like poisoning me or something very subtly before any of this voodoo shit ever fucking happened, because you just like to fucking fuck with somebody. Just like you get my neighbors against me when I moved there. It's really impressive and involved. And it was happening before the voodoo thing. But then the owner admits that he did military intel for 2 decades, and it's like, wow. This is just a small bottle of water, actually. This is a very small bottle of water. Very strong water. No, I'm not going to turn into an alcoholic. But I figured like rewarding myself. And I kind of see it as a little reward. Just get a little tipsy on water. I mean, you know, get a little tipsy on water. So it'd just be nice if you guys showed me a good time. Show me a good time. You know, I'll stop my protests. Alright? But the lawsuits, which I wish I could sue for gang stalking, and I wish I could sue for a lot of other things. The only things that I seem to, you know, is defamation is what I could sue for. And at least for now, losing the first false restraining order. Losing the first false restraining order I could sue for. Not much money to be had, but maybe it'll be enough to get me on the road. I heard one of my friends got a place to stay. I was thinking about some money to help her along. If she has a roof over her head, then I just need the RV to kind of travel the country. Then you guys could gang stalk me out there, you know. Like I was thinking about running for president. I really want to run for president. I really do. So being followed around isn't really like that big of a deal for me. It could be fun. We could visit fucking all sorts of national parks and shit, you know, and just like, you know, pretty areas. And you know, you guys just, you know, don't need to be such assholes about shit. Like, you guys with this power, you guys could stop, like, mass shootings, but you don't. Like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why don't you do that instead? Why don't you do some good? And you guys would be good at the murder mystery shit, like a legit one. And I mean, I don't mean to make it sound like bad or something, but like, you know, when I said national registry, but you get like people that are like, look, I want to sign up, you know, to have this cool, crazy, weird, mysterious shit happen to me. You make money off that shit. Rich people definitely, like, you know, you make money off of rich people, and it won't be a scam or anything, so it'll be all legit. You know, there's money to be made with that shit. You know, $5,000 a year. You know, when you cancel your subscription or something, you know, that's when they stop or whatever. And they just and then you guys could do your thing and do your rotations on your different targets and everything you have in an area, you know, and do things in a little better way, and then you can make the shit kinky. You know, you could, yes, I want my doctor involved, and you know, there's probably some doctors that want to fucking sleep around with some of their patients, and maybe one of their patients are fucking registered to this thing, and then it's like they gotta play naughty doctor and, you know, innocent patient. And you guys could, you know, have better fantasies, you know, with these things too. Even like, I think you guys, like, I still hear the gas and everything, but it's like been, I think, making me horny, or I just been getting horny lately. I don't know what the fuck. But you know, and if you guys have a thing like that, then it's like, well, obviously you'd be using it at the sex club, right? You know. And that's cool, but you should, like, you know, that should be legal, you know, and it should be something, like, our atmosphere is pheromone B or whatever the fuck, you know, and you just advertise that on the front door or something like that. Just be like, yeah, our air conditioning equipment is, you know, equipped with this one thing that would just make you a little bit hotter under the collar, you know, and just, like, in the open. It doesn't need to be all super duper secret, you know, and abusive. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't think BDSM would be this abusive, really. I'm just looking around at all the traffic and everything. There's always traffic at this place. I think this is another fusion center. This is Uinta. Oh wait, sorry. Yeah, Uinta and Academy. And so, yeah, I think this is a fusion center over here. There's always cars coming in and out there. You know, like gangbanger looking types and everything like that, and, you know, dudes taking pictures of women and shit, you know, and that's fine, whatever. Have your little secret sex parties over there. I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, everybody getting off over there. Cool. Good for you guys. I would like to maybe legalize this shit. It'd be nice, you know. You guys could have a, you know, an awesome cocaine sex club. And I was thinking about like Tempting Trans Tuesdays and No Name Blindfold Thursdays at the White House. And there'll be parties that I'll rarely attend because I'll be like tending to look, after my mission is complete, and then I mean I'll still be messing around every now and then, but I want to take as few breaks as possible and really work my ass off. And I know I'm being lazy right now, but I'm just kind of one of those people that have given up. But that was because of you guys. You guys induced that feeling and that hopelessness. And it's not right, and it's abusive, and it's abuse. And when you abuse me for so long, and then I act out, and then you try to use that against me, you know what? That's bullshit, alright? That's bullshit. You can't just fucking, poke somebody in the eye for years, and then they fucking get pissy about it, and then you condemn them over it. That's, super duper abuse. And which you guys are good at, apparently. And I never wanted to be one of those BDSM abusive people. I never did. I really never wanted to. I had so much better thoughts. I don't know. I don't know if there's any niceness in the community. There's nice people, but I just show me a good time. I'll stop my protest, or I see this through to the end, and that's fine too, but I'm not going to not stick up for myself. I'm not going to not stick up for myself. Alright, so you fucking do what you have to do. I'm going to stick up for myself. And if you guys want to just keep ignoring me and abusing me, fine. Whatever. Fucking frame me, fucking, like I'm the biggest terrorist there ever fucking was, fucking, whatever the fuck you say I am, instead of ever getting to know me. And there's definitely people out there like that, but is it all you? I don't know. I really wanted it to be a different experience. I really did. And if anyone could show me that experience, I don't know if I have the chance. I think if you're part of it, I could do a one-night stand with you, keep things at an arm distance. I got freaked out with that chick, Jay. I had bad vibes from her. And I had bad vibes from Bree. And that's, the bad vibes from Bree. One thing that Bree did, alright, she played around with the Bluetooth program. She played around with this Bluetooth program that took over my Bluetooth speaker and just kind of killed the sound. It would just kill the sound. Boom. My shit's disconnected. I got to go reconnect it and everything. And that shit happened after my Voodoo Leatherworks protest on May 30th. When I went to the Territory Days. And I had that little music player. I was doing Everybody Have Fun Tonight, the Wang Chung song. And then my shit stopped. It's because there was some of the gang stalkers there that I didn't realize then, but there was some of the gang stalkers there, them being police involved and everything. Oopsie. And anyway, so, there was that same effect. Plus the vibe that I always got from her, and she was always like, just letting me talk, which isn't suspicious to begin with, but she never really told me anything about herself, is the thing. She would just let me talk, and she never really told me anything about herself. Her name was, very secretive, and she told me her name, but whatever, I don't really care. I recently got in touch with her to just let her know that I forgive her, and then she snapped off on me like this J chick did. She's like, oh, I don't even think I mentioned what she said, but she's like, okay, I guess I'll cut in front of you in the line then, because I met her at a food pantry. And I don't know what I said to it, but the feeling I have now is whatever, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do, if you need to cut in front of me, then I guess, go for it, because you just walk all over people, your family does, you got raised this way. Because another thing about the gang stalking is they bring their kids in on it and they teach them that like this, like it's a fucking cult and everything, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, really? You know, because you know, they had this one kid on a bike and everything. He was like asking $2, like that movie Better Off Dead, and he's like saying, oh yeah, you know, I just like, you know, ask people for money and they just like give it to me, and it's like, damn, you're a fucking good hustler. You know, like and he told me a sad story about his stepfather dying, and I don't know if that's supposed to be some like warning or whatever, you know, but I can't not defend myself and stand up for myself, and I can't be a little bitch, you know, with me wanting to run for president. I can't be a little bitch if I'm wanting to run for president. I think that would be a good quality, because, you know, when I'm fucking, you know, if I have to deal with other nations, which I would just much rather focus on America and the healing, you know, I fantasized about getting a polyamorous first lady where I could share her with pretty much nobody in the part of the gang stalking community, or anybody that's directly fucking, you know, or indirectly abused me, you know, is who I would share her with, and if it was okay with her. So I'd have my little ground rule, like, look, you're not going to give pleasure to people that, you know, fucking abused me. And that's an understandable boundary, just like I was giving boundaries to Jay, and then she flipped off on me, you know, and I'm like telling her, I was a little wordy, you know, but I'm explaining my boundaries, you know, like, look, I'm going through all this shit and blah, 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 and people gotta know if they're fucking going to hang out with me, you know, that they might get gang stalked too, you know. So I'm like, look, you know, just, you know, by chance, maybe my vibe is wrong and blah, 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 and, you know, you're not part of this. You need to know about the gang stalking, because you're going to be involving yourself in some... I would hope they don't poison people that involve themselves with me, and they just keep the poisoning to me directly. But with this fucking careless community, you know, don't tell me that Black Widow on that fucking weekend night was just a coincidence. It was on a fence just on the block from here where the daycare center is. And it was June time, I'm pretty sure. And it was hot. Not as hot as it is now, but it was pretty hot. And it was right where I used to chill, and it was just making its web. It was just making its web as if it just was placed there recently. And that's a daycare center, dog. That's daycare center. And you, well, we're trying to fuck with you. Don't worry. It was a Friday or Saturday, so we would have gotten rid of it on Monday or whatever. That's fucking reckless. What the fuck is wrong with you? What if it moved? What if it fucking moved and you couldn't find it? What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my god. You know, I at least moved it to the adult section where I never see any fucking children, because they have all these like sectioned off fences and everything. And so I'm by the sidewalk. I scoop it up with my big ass sign, because I brought a sign kind of like I have now. And so I scooped it up with the sign, and I walked it like 100 feet away, or whatever the fucking actual distance was. I'm just estimating 100 feet. No, they're going to be like, yeah, actually, Chris, we were gang stalking you, and it was 67 feet, or whatever the fuck, dude. I brought it almost to the corner. I got a little weirded out, because it was like a grown adult Black Widow right there. Boom. Right where I used to chill. Oh, imagine that. You know. And then when I covered up the holes in the wall. You know, it was like... then the two neighbors on the side that I suspected were poisoning me at the same time started coughing mysteriously. You know, after hours prior, I'm going around and plugging up the holes. You know, that just coincidence in my head. You know, I never really hear them cough now, you know, even though, like, I haven't really been poisoned by them, at least. But I still hear the noise, and I still hear the high pitch. It's almost like you could hear the lighter fluid. You know, it's like a high pitch, a very high pitched noise. And I hear it every now and then. And I don't know, like, if there's a lot of reasons to do it. You know, I hear the gang stalking is psychological torture. So they'll make it the psychological torture. Not that I've taken any classes or anything on it, but making the sound constantly happen, even though nothing's happening, would have a few benefits to it. Man, I really hate the fucking police. It's to get me used to it, so then I start ignoring it, and then the actual poisonings, whenever they decide I should shit blood again, fucking, it's less noticeable, because if they just had the high-pitched hissing noises, when they were poisoning, then that would be more obvious. But if they did it all the time, and it's just compressed air that they're doing right now, not poisoning me, so when they start poisoning me, there's no difference in the pattern, kinda. There's no, it's like, hey, I've always walked down this block, I'm not fucking stalking you, or whatever the fuck. It's like, it's simple spy shit. Like, oh my god, don't tell me that fucking spies don't integrate their fucking normal everyday lives into spying. Don't tell me that shit. Don't tell me this textbook thing that's been done for fucking like centuries, probably thousands of years. Spies working their normal everyday activities into actual spying on a fucking target. Don't tell me that's not a thing. Because I know I could think my way through a lot of things, even spying. And that's a given. Oh my god, that's, like, if you're saying that's not a thing, you're just being obvious and you're totally lying, or you're suggesting that you are totally dumb as rocks. I don't know, whatever you think I'm trying to say there is whatever it is. So I don't know, I just wanted to talk instead of just have the body camera on me all the time. I just notice vehicles and I get a weird vibe from some of them. I'm passing by. Not everyone, but I can't always be fucking worried about these fucking assholes circling me and everything like that. Just it's a bit draining. I've been kind of drained the past week or so. It's been really draining because I've been really reprocessing like as many events as I can for over the past decade in my head. It's like, whoa, wait a second. Let me take a step back here. And I inadvertently recorded some people gang stalking me in Illinois back in 2012 when I was just like, look, I'm going to start recording stuff to put in the Library of Congress or Presidential Library or some shit, like a nobody trying to become a somebody or becoming a somebody. I don't know what it was going to be, but if I didn't document it, it would have never been a thing. So I started documenting stuff, and and I thought Sharon Turner was part of the good people. Now I felt very awkward. I felt that same feeling that I felt when I was at Voodoo Leatherworks, and she said something about, like, because I had a thing like, our side has cookies. She's like, you're gonna have cookies, or you're gonna bring cookies or something like that, she said. And I'm like, hell yeah. And I felt good about that. I felt really good about that because I was just being cute and playful. And one thing I have to say thank you for is thank you for healing my child, my inner child. Now I haven't healed myself completely, but my inner child has really been healed. I don't need to take my anti-anxiety no more. Thank you for that too. Taking less RXs is nice. I probably had to take the anti-anxiety because of you people. So what once was done is now undone by the same group. So anyway, I just want a fair shake. And you're like, the world isn't fair. And it's like, dude, that's not the motto of America. That doesn't sound patriotic at all. That doesn't sound patriotic. No, we shouldn't be fair. No, we shouldn't let the American people decide. I already, have a very slim chance of ever getting elected. And then I get this shit. You know, it's like, oh my God, why can't you just let me fail on my own? You know, you're just like, you're looking at somebody that's all set up to like fail, and you're tripping him before he could even start running. You know, and it's like, dude, well, maybe you just let him, run and fall and fumble and everything. The American people should decide is the thing. You know, as much as you guys like to think of yourselves as gods, you're not. You know, you're just one fucking citizen, no matter what agency you fucking work for. You're one person, one vote, and that's the way it should be. I don't even agree with the Electoral College, which some of you might. You know, because you like manipulation, and that helps you manipulate the Electoral College. I don't agree with that stuff, and I would try to get rid of it. And if that makes me some sort of terrorist, then fucking, like, send me to Gitmo and shove shit up my ass already. Fucking shit. Anyway, I guess I should shut the fuck up. I should listen to the rest of my music and enjoy the rest of my water here. It's a very small bottle of water, alright? I swear.